Hi, welcome to my studio. Here's a little look around at what my place looks like. You always got to have coffee when you're making art. There are my paintbrushes, there's some hand cream, there's some stuff I'm working on. Big, huge paintings, small paintings, painting on a map, all kinds of stuff. Now, back to where we're going. We're reviewing how to draw our faces, we're checking out some proportions, and we're remembering that everything we draw right now has freedom power and you can change, fix, shape, redo anything that you've messed up as you go. Okay, so we're looking at colors of skin and we're looking at the skin we're in. And basically, we're all a different shade of brown. And so when you mix brown, what you do is this. To make different skin colors, what you do is you take a little bit of yellow, a tiny bit of red, a tiny bit of blue, and you circle them together, and that's how you get brown. If you have light brown skin, you add white. Okay, it looks like my picture is completely ruined. I actually had my son paint the background for me, and this is what it came back to me looking like. Don't worry about a thing. If your picture looks kind of wild and crazy and it's got like all different colors and drips on your face, it's not a big deal. Everything in painting is about learning how to fix your mistakes. Artists rarely make the perfect brushstrokes the first time. You have a chance with this materials that we're using, oil pastels and tempera paint, to do a bunch of different things for solutions. You can paint right over a picture and start over again. You can also take and use oil pastel and draw in different details and lines on top of the tempera paint. This is why we're using them together. I set it up this way so that we could all have success, and you will. But the thing is, you have to keep trying. You can't give up and say, oh, I'm going to do the entire thing over. Can I get a new piece of cardboard, Miss Tara? It doesn't work like that. You have to figure out how to solve the problems that you created. This is where your creative brain power comes in and where you have to use analytical thinking to succeed. You've got this inside of you. Just go inside your brain and figure out what is your painting saying and what you need to do. Okay, I'm flipping over to the other portrait. I'm finishing the background. You want to make sure you have paint slathered on the entire picture before you go in and make little tiny details and perfect little lines that make you think that your picture's finished. You basically want to cover the entire thing with paint or oil pastel, but I recommend paint. So I'm filling in the background, and funny enough, it's been such a rainy weekend that this guy is actually coming out like some sort of a stormy type of Portland, Oregon moment here. So I keep going and keep going and keep going. You may be thinking, Miss Tara, those eyes look freaky. And they do look freaky. I left the eyes plain white on both my portraits because the next thing I'm going to show you is how to draw really cool, realistic looking eyes. These are what make your picture look amazing and really come to life. So if you're having problems with your eyes, just paint the nice oval, almondy white part, and I'll be getting to the eyeballs next. Okay, we're ready for the eyes. So first, you take out a white oil pastel. Make sure it's clean. Draw it on a separate sheet of paper or draw it on the back of your cardboard. Oh, I just looked at you with my eyeball. The next thing you do is you have the color part of your eye, which is the iris. And mine are brown and green, so I'm blending those two colors together in a circle. And very last of all, I use the black oil pastel. And the black oil pastel I use for the pupil, I use for a circle around the iris, and lastly, I use it to outline my entire eye. This is where if you have eyelashes and things like that, you can put those things on with the black oil pastel if you want. If you have really light eyelashes like blonde or really light skin, use browns. Don't use black. because your features are lighter. Okay? Use like a light brown oil pastel, or you could even use that ochre color oil pastel. Now I'm touching up the white part because I messed it up. I'm touching it up with a tiny paintbrush, and then I'm all done. Okay. Oh, I forgot to add this, but I'll show you on the next one. Hold on. Okay, I also just messed up my nose. No big deal. I'm experimenting, I'm trying different colors, and then see what happens. Okay, gotta go. Gotta do the next thing. Okay, now I'm doing this guy's eyes. And I'm going to have his eyes be really dark and beautiful. And so I take out the oil pastels and I color it in dark brown. And the one way to make brown darker without making it completely black is by adding navy blue or really dark blue to the brown. And that makes a really good dark color. If you have really dark eyes, but maybe they're not quite black, but they're dark chocolate brown, you might try that trick. Then I take the black and I do the same outlining as before, and I put in the pupil. And then the most important thing that I forgot to tell you on the last set of eyeballs that we looked at is to put a white highlight on the iris. This is super important. This is what makes them look three-dimensional. This is what makes your eyes look bright, and I call it the spark of life. And the way that this records, I can't even tell if I put it on there yet or not. And now I'm putting rhythmic marks all around to make it have flow and to make it show up. Okay, there it is, the white spark of life. Make sure you do this on your eyes. You can also put a little white highlight on your lips too. Okay, I'm almost done. Now you're thinking of the picture and you want to think of some art vocabulary to describe it. And some of the elements of art that we used are shape. We used shapes to create our faces. We used color to create like harmony and movement and rhythm around it. And we also used a lot of texture because some of the texture of the cardboard's coming out into our picture. So we have all these things. Now, of course, the very last thing that I'm going to tell you is make sure you put your name and your class code on your amazing artwork when you are finished. And here's a couple portraits, and now I'm all done. Thanks for paying attention, guys, and thanks for doing your best, and thanks for trying your hardest, and most importantly, thanks for not giving up on yourselves. Awesome.